Parenting is the ultimate roller coaster. Just when you think you've got it figured out, the track takes a wild turn and you are right back at square one. This week, I am joined by Russell Kane, the award-winning comedian, writer and dad to his younger daughter, Minna.
The thing is, you don't know what you're going to be like at parenting until you're a parent.
By the point of us even starting families, we've already made it so much harder for dads.
Whatever you are doing is your choice and is totally fine. No one is dictating baby-led, parent-led. No one has the right to, as long as your baby is safe and healthy.
I'm clearly genetically meant to have boys, so I will try that. I will do the experiment myself.
It's not about male roles, female roles. A good couple, where there's two gay men, two women, or a man and a woman, and it needs to be a partnership.
Hello, I'm Pip, and welcome to the Midwife Pip podcast, the home of expert information and real chats on all things pregnancy, birth, and beyond. Parenting is the ultimate roller coaster. Just when you think you've got it figured out, the track takes a wild turn and you are right back at square one, humbled all over again. Sound familiar? Well, if you're anything like me, you are constantly looking for ways to hold on tight, scream a little less, and maybe even laugh along the way. This week's guest might just have a tool, or at least a hilarious perspective, to help us all ride the chaos a little smoother. This week, I am joined by Russell Kane, the award-winning comedian, writer, and dad to his younger daughter, Minna. Known for his high-energy stand-up and sharp takes on modern life, I'm intrigued to see how he brings his signature humour to the ups and downs of parenting, be it dad guilt, gender roles, or just surviving kids' birthday parties. So grab a cuppa and join us for some real talk on parenting. Welcome, Russell, and thank you for joining us, because I know you're a busy man and dad.
Yeah, and not normal. We're recording this in August. Normally dead for all comedians. You'll be doing festivals or you'll be going up to Edinburgh, but you're not normally recording stuff. So I don't know if Edinburgh's less popular and all the producers have stayed down south, but my God, it's a little bit tricky at the moment.
Well, we're pleased to have stolen you. I'm pleased, A, that you're not dead, and B, that we've been able to...
Yes, I don't feel too sorry for him. I'm going to Ibiza for 2 weeks on Thursday to have it large.
Love that. Work-life balance and all that, hey? That's what they say. Kicking us off, Russell, describe being a father. 3 words only. What would they be?
Best thing ever.
Oh, I love that. You've just synced it into one beautiful little sentence.
I love it. The thing is, you don't know what you're going to be like at parenting until you're a parent. Yeah. Some people who think they're going to be shit are good. Some people who think they're going to be good are shit. And most people are sort of somewhere in between. I thought I'd be better than I was, or I thought I'd be worse than I was. I'm not perfect, blah, blah, blah. Very few people are exactly as they thought they would be. Yeah, I thought I would be a lot less good at managing stress. I thought I would lose my temper and shout more. I just thought, because I do that, if I can't find my keys, it's like a volcano going off. I'm surprised at how patient I am, how generous I am, and selfless with my time, because I'm not like that in any other aspect of my life. I'm very driven, extremely focused on creating art and in every way. I don't know what it is. I miss biology, I suppose, but yeah, I love it. I obviously had a massive head start compared to most men. My mum was a nanny and a childminder, so I've had a succession of 3-month-old to 3-year-olds just passing through the house. Younger than 3 months, one of them was, from the ages of when I was about 10 to when I was about 18. So, I was ninja at nappies, sleep. I just knew everything about breast, but I was a bit of had to hold in the mansplaining know-it-allness, but I hadn't, it's just, I'd learnt it because my mum was doing it constantly and I had to help out. So I sort of learnt it all by accident. And I just struck the lottery because with Lindsay, my wife's just amazing. Like, she's running this amazing business. She's an entrepreneur. She's empowering women. She's like the dragon in the Dragon's Den, and I'm like the creative crafting mum type person. So what the benefit of that is, Lindsay let me have a lot of input in it was more than 50-50 in the decisions to do with feeding and sleeping and things like that. It was a collaborative process. It wasn't, I'm having this baby and you're going to do what I say. You're going to be like a shit assistant manager for 2 years. Then when you're ready to be a fun dad who gets eyelashes stuck on age 3, you'll be welcome back in. None of that We were from before the Marvelon pill packet went in the bin. We were a partnership. Yes, okay, I can't grow a baby and I can't feed it, but we live in a world where women are telling men they want to be equal. Couldn't agree more. Men are also equal when it comes to rearing, caring, and nurturing. We aspire to that equality too, which we don't yet have. I would love to talk to you about that. But I'm a woman that gives me that, so I was involved.
I love that, Russell. I know one of the things that you have talked really passionate about and clearly really passionate about, which, I absolutely love. It's so refreshing. Like, we're in 2025. It takes two. Let's act like it. I feel like you talk a lot about redefining masculinity in terms of parenting. And do you think that's what you and Lindsay have so beautifully demonstrated in your own parenthood journey?
I think we're just a partnership in everything we do. It doesn't matter if we're planning a holiday, planning a night out, planning a party, planning a naughty night where we're going to get up to some fun because we've got childcare. We are a partnership. We're a partnership. There's some things I'm absolutely crap at, DIY, for example, or if we're running late, being stressed, or like getting organised and packed. I am crap at those things. So Lindsay takes the leads. There's some things Lindsay's not so good at, working out how a projector works, electronics, thinking of fun, creative things that children love and will engage children. So I take the lead, but we partner. This is what it's about. It's not about male roles, female roles. A good couple, whether it's two gay men, two women, or a man and a woman, it needs to be a partnership. Now, I come from a female-led family, right? It's council estate, mostly women. I was one of the few people to have a dad, so it's a lot of. I'm all about girl power because it's all not because I'm some like feminist, but because I don't know any different. All I know is nans and aunties solving shit. So my mum was raised by her own grandma. It's just women mucking in. That was my childhood. Now I've had a daughter and I've got a wife who at 34 has suddenly discovered who she is. And these are her words, the power of her womb space. And she's doing all these talks and empowering. So it's like a very sort of estrogen led house.
Yeah.
So I'm all about the women like doing what they need to do to be equal. As you can sense, there's a big but coming here, but with a single T. And, but the problem is, I could bring my daughter on camera now, or we could do a live version of this podcast to all your listeners, and my daughter could come on and go, tell them what you want to do, Minna. Well, firstly, I want to be respected and equal. These are all the things. My daughter 9 will tell you this because it's what I've taught her. I want to be paid the same. I'm no better or worse than a man. I can fly to the moon like Katy Perry. I could build a bridge. I could cure cancer. I could be a makeup artist. I can be a pole dancer. It's down to me. I could be a bum. And do you know what your audience would do? They would clap and cheer and whoop. Now, if I had a son and brought him up and went, tell us what you want to do, Gavin. I want to be a primary carer for a baby. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a primary school teacher. I want to work in a nursery, changing the nappies of newborns of mums that are dropping them off, even though I'm a man and I'm a straight man. Do you know what the audience would do? Pretend to, that's good. No, good for him. Do you know why? Because masculinity has no permission to exist in those areas. That everyone keeps, like all the Andrew Tates and all these toxic fucking misogynists are making out that the problem is women getting power. No, that's the solution. The problem is men failing to take up power and not being given permission by some women to have existence in those areas. Take 100 mothers and 100 fathers, 200 people. You walk into a daycare nursery and all the staff are straight men. What percentage of those people in a blind survey do you think would leave their baby there? It's fucking tiny. Stop lying. It's nothing. That is an issue. If it was a prejudice the other way around, we would stamp it out and it would be prosecuted. But men don't have permission to work in a nursery. Men don't get custody of babies, even if everything is equal. There are no more male primary school teachers than there used to be since 1990. No increase in male nurses.
Or midwives.
Or midwives. Again, funnily enough, we'll talk about midwives in a minute. I've got a funny story about midwives. So that to me is interesting. So if you're not a gay man, you don't have permission to do any of those things. I have a manny. I have a manny. How patronizing is that? So I don't think women and men realize how much, I don't know how political this podcast is, patriarchy.
You've just made it a bit more political, but I'm all right with it.
Patriarchy fucks up men, but we don't talk. Why don't we talk about it? It's not men controlling shit. It's patriarchy controlling shit. Patriarchy is controlling all of us. It was set up by some fucking bellends in a desert 2,000 years ago. So it's all very well asking to be respected as equals, but men don't even feel like they've got permission to exist in those areas. Most men describe their first 14 months of fatherhood as being like a sort of rubbish, annoying, pointless assistant manager with no boobs, no milk, and no skills. We're out. There's an inner circle with mother and baby in it, and you're on the outside. And do you know what happens sometimes? Resentment. That resentment is extremely dangerous because everyone's, I think baby needs this type of mattress. I think baby needs breast. I think baby needs this, baby needs that. All of these things are true, but baby also needs a mum and dad that are partners and working as a team and love each other. I would rather get rid of my high-tech mattress and have a really functioning relationship. I would rather, Lindsay couldn't breastfeed for various reasons. Okay. And I was surprised how much no men had a problem with it. I was surprised how many women had all right, okay, well, if you've tried, are you sure you've tried? It's like, fuck off, man. It's her tits, it's her choice. And also, I'd rather have a woman that is happy rather than unhappy, trying to breastfeed, crying and feeling like a failure. Like, what's better for a baby? A woman, a woman whose mental health is failing, or a woman who's empowered to make her own decisions. So, yeah, I'm pretty passionate in this area.
I love that. And that's what we need, isn't it? And like I had a recent conversation, Russell, about the gap in like paternity leave. So actually, by the point of us even starting families, we've already like made it so much harder for dads and their involvement, because we've told them that they can have like a week off and then a week statutory, and that's it. And then some dads are then back in the 9 to 5 days a week. And we've all we set people off to fail.
And what message does that send? It doesn't send a message of equality. So we need wage equalisation in this country like they have in Denmark. We need women to be earning the same. We need as many women in boardrooms. We need wage equalisation, right? That is not going to happen while we put this halo around a woman having a year off with baby, right? It needs to be equal. You need to be given 12 months of leave, and that's carved up between the two women, the two men, the man and the woman, as they see fucking fit, because it's their private decision. It would also be interesting to see how many females gave up some of that time to men, because then we'd see where people's cards really are. Because if people truly desire equality, then most women should carve that leave in half. I would like to think they would.
Yeah, it is so interesting. And I was thinking then when you were saying that, and I was like, would I? If I'm honest, would I give 6 months up to my husband? I feel like I spent 3 months just recovering physically.
Of course, you need that's the first thing that has to happen.
I'm like, I feel like once I felt really well, then I'd separate the last bit. Yeah. But I want that bit to recover first.
This is as you can see, I'm a bit of like a feminist thanks to my wife and daughter. But the thing is, that is the final part of feminism, is fixing of men. We can't get there while men are turning into sort of Andrew Tate incel fuck ups. You know, we need to get rid of that toxicity out of masculinity, and that's part of the solution. But there is some things that need to be rebalanced. All of the growth at the moment, so females are growing in the technology sector. Thank God, female scientists, they're all growing. Great, happy for you, ladies. Whereas men aren't growing so STEM is growing, but men aren't growing in the caring sector. But guess which job AI is replacing? Traditionally, whatever this means, male jobs. So the cars in the factory, the coal mines, the steel workers, all replaced by robots.
Yeah.
But men feel a bit silly or gay or stupid to become a primary school teacher. Why aren't there male primary school teachers? Why aren't there male primary school teachers? Where are the fucking male primary school teachers? Children need male role models. There's a lot of single households led by amazing women. But it's good for those boys and girls to get some sort of male role model while they're at school. There aren't any male primary school teachers because masculinity is fucked, and everyone finds it a bit. There is a prejudice against a man that wants to be a primary school teacher. I will say it. I'll get in shit for saying it, but it's true. If it were not true, we'd have 50-50, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I'm so passionate about this, Russell, because I've got 2 boys. I've got a 1-year-old and 3-year-old, 2 boys. So I'm outnumbered in this house. But I want them to be able to go into all those professions. And actually, when we feel underrepresented, we put a barrier up, don't we, before we even get started. Yeah. And I hate the idea that actually my boys don't feel like they can be in a caring profession just because they don't see that, and it's not what they're kind of seeing when they go to school or when they're at nursery, etc. My children are both at nursery, and there was when they first joined, there was one man and he's no longer there. So it is all female
Was
dominated.
he gay? Do you know if he was gay or straight?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I only met him a couple of times. It didn't feel appropriate as my first question.
To see a straight guy in a nursery, and all parents, including me, are like, why is he here? That's a bit weird. Is he changing my daughter's nappy? Sorry, no. I mean, that's a fucking issue, man. I'm one of the most liberated left-wing guys you will meet, and I put my baby to my chest a little bit when there was a man working in our local nursery, and I was like, why is he here? Wow. We just see a fucking sex offender. That doesn't happen in other countries. It's America and England where we've been fed men are sex offenders over and over again, so we all believe it, including men. So we've got this issue here around parenthood and birth and babies where we're sort of still stuck. We've made massive progress. We're sort of stuck at the final stage. There is a physical aspect which cannot be avoided. Women need to recover, but we all know, I think even those days are numbered. The way the technology is going and hormones, it's just a matter of fucking time till they make a synthetic womb and a man grows a baby. It is probably a matter of decades. So that those days are numbered. So we need to sort out the psychological part of men's brains. Or if Andrew Tate just goes in there like a poison ivy, and you get Lamborghinis and bitches and all that, because what men are doing is they're clawing back aspects of masculinity in an emergency. They're in the spare room looking at fucking horrible misogynistic porn so they can feel a bit sexually powerful. Like some of this I get great comedy out of, believe it or not. And I always get in trouble when I do podcasts like these, because obviously your listenership's going to be female and now I'm mansplaining, but I've been invited on to give my opinion, so I'm going to fucking give it. And I don't have an opinion about what the right thing to do is when a couple have a baby. Like, you can be bed sharers, you can be Germanic and put it in the loft on night one. I couldn't give a shite as long as you're doing it safely. My tip to couples is agree before the baby's born. Doesn't matter what you're doing, forest bed sharing or Germanic sleep routine, Nazi, doesn't matter as long as it's safe, the baby's well, and you both agree. Every issue in every couple I know with children is because one was on one page and one was on the other. Sometimes it's the man who's the big baby in the bed, and the woman's like, "What happened to our relationship?" I was a bit like that. I was like hypnotized by my daughter, and it caused an issue. You know, Lindsay's like, I'm your primary female. Hello. You know, so it can happen the other way around, but I hear a lot of my male friends, I'm just being real with you ladies, a lot of my male friends going, oh, you got to understand, you know, it's the baby, I've got to do what's right. They're off into the spare room, baby's in the bed, bang. Some of these babies are now 10 still. I know couples where the son is in bed with the mum and the daughter's in bed with the dad. Okay, that's great for the children and their psychological development and skin to skin. But will the marriage last? Is there secret resentments going on? Is your sex life active? How is your intimacy? Are you getting couple time? You know, these children are growing into adults, not into giant babies. You've got to keep your connection there as well. That your child, Minna, our daughter, rhymes with dinner. Minna I want her to model her relationships on what she sees, which is me and Lindsay affectionate, kissing, making time for each other, doing play-based, child-led activities with her, but valuing and cherishing each other. Otherwise, she'll grow up into a woman that thinks as soon as the kid's born, we live in different rooms and we don't have any intimacy. Then we divorce when the child's 10. So,
and like divorce rates are massive amongst parents, and it, like you say, it's no surprise. Like overnight, your roles and responsibilities change so enormously, but having that open, honest communication and conversations are so important.
There's a lot, I mean, in midwifery and all of that, there's a lot of debate about what's best, you know, routine, baby-led, how much damage should you wait for the colostrum to finish and then go to formula? Or is your child going to be a serial killer if you don't breastfeed it till it's 12? I'm sure all of those things are important, and I'm sure there's some data that is a little bit relevant, but most of us turn out okay. As my friend Ramesh Ranganathan says, I've never seen an 18-year-old shit himself at the table because he wasn't potty trained, okay? We all sort of get there in the end. I think we obsess over the wrong things when babies are born, and mechanical details that will probably work themselves, and we don't obsess over the important things: intimacy, emotional regulation, maternal mental health. Is your wife okay? Has she got postnatal depression? Is it manifesting itself in a way you don't understand? It's also not understood. I'm going to really get myself in hot water here, but the science is there. Go on ChatGPT 5 and ask it. We don't know why, but when a baby is born, a man's testosterone dips, not a little bit, dramatically. Check out the data. It's fascinating. It doesn't have to be the father. So any adult children in the house, any brothers, any uncles, everyone's testosterone who's living in the same house as a nursing, screaming baby, their testosterone dramatically dips, but a father's drops off a cliff. That's why men put on weight, dad bod and all that.
Oh, my husband is going to love this validation, Russell. He's going to be, that is why the belly came.
Now they think it might be because back in the day when our species was evolving, watch Human on BBC, the couples that made it were the women that had babies with men who became less aggressive once the baby was born. So before we had any emotional literacy, if you went with Gary the caveman who lost his temper and smashed the baby's head on the rock, you're going to be less successful as if you go with Dave the caveman, who was like, I've had a bad day, but I'm not going to hurt the infant because that's why we're here. So he's gone on to have more offspring and Gary's DNA has died out. So there would be an evolutionary advantage for men to get slightly depressed when a baby is born. Now, men will not tell you this, Pip, because we're so fucking ashamed. We're ashamed that we have any needs at all when a baby is born. Okay, I was ashamed, so I hid it. I pushed it down because I knew everyone would slag me off and mock me. How am I going to go into my wife in hospital and go, "Oh, it's really weird, Linz. I went home last night, had a nice dinner with my unaffected body, and I was crying, and and she's like, really? I've just been sewn up from the anus to the vagina. Do you want to fuck off? Like, we can't. We've got no permission to speak, but you should want us to speak because no one is trying to compare what happens to us is what happens to you.
Yeah,
no one.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not trying to say it's equal. I'm just trying to voice. There'll be so many men listening to this go, yes, in a quiet fist bump, including your husband. Something happens to us as well during pregnancy. Something physical happens to us. It affects our emotions. It affects our psychology. It makes some men run away. It makes some men cheat. It makes some men put on weight. And a lot of it is because we don't feel like we can say it because we're going to get shouted at for being mansplaining male twats that can't even grow a baby. So that's. Do
you feel like it's that like you said, that resentment or that competition in terms of like, well, you can't feel that way because I feel worse.
You put this clip out and have a look at the comments.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it.
Put this clip out and look at the comments. Shut the fuck up. I had I had an ectopic pregnancy. My womb. I've had to have a hysterectomy. All of that, as though I'm devaluing gynecological and maternal health. Like, it's men. Women keep saying to men, why are men killing themselves 7 times more than women? Why don't you explain your feelings? It's because a lot of the time we don't feel it's safe to share our feelings. We feel like we've let you down if we share our feelings, because how can I be struggling at the moment when you've grown a baby and you've been ripped open by this baby and all I had to do was 3 pumps and a squirt and visit you at night? Fuck you, Gary. How dare you? That sort of thing. But there is science there about when men's testosterone dips, it's really dangerous. It's very dangerous for mood, and men are extremely suicidal at the moment. There's lots of things driving it. So I would just say it's not a competition. Yeah. Even if what we're going through is 10% or 5% of what you're going through, don't you want to hear about our 5%? Men are like babies, yeah. They get really resentful really quickly. Fuck you then, fuck you. I'm going to go on porn then. They are babies. So you don't want your baby having a tantrum, do you? So listen to breastfeeding.
Yeah, literally. I love that though. Actually, validating that 5%, because if we do end up in that place where then both parents are compromised, that's not great for anybody. And if we want to have that kind of tight knit family unit where we're all on the same page, then we need to be able to validate everyone's emotions equally, don't we? And not have that I've definitely felt it in our parenting journeys where there's times where I'm like, well, you get to do this, and he's like, well, you get to do that, and And then we kind of come together and realize that's not
Yeah.
really helpful or beneficial and we need to move through it. But you can see how that creeps in when we constantly feel like we've got that competition of who's got it hardest, right?
And also the resentment as listen, I can't make sure if you put these clips in, you put this disclaimer in, because I did a podcast last week, they cut this bit off, right? Whatever you are doing is your choice and is totally fine. No one is dictating baby-led, parent-led. No one has the right to, as long as your baby is safe and healthy. But as I'll repeat myself, amongst my friends, the problem is each parent has a different strategy. And it normally is 80%. Mummy wants baby in the bed, quite rightly. Why wouldn't you? And the baby's the most amazing thing, and skin to skin contact. I love it, right? Why wouldn't you want that? But the man sort of ends up in the spare room a little bit because of work or because he can't sleep or whatever. And it sort of turns into a long-term arrangement that goes on 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now you've got a masturbating, angry, resentful, porn-addicted man in the spare room. Where do you think that situation is going to finish? So it's not because you've chosen the wrong thing. It's because you didn't both communicate. That's a different. Every time I do this, I get drunk ladies coming up to me thinking, hey, you got the right to fucking... I'm not telling anyone to do shit. All I'm telling people to do is to communicate. Because if you... Like with me, we went the other way. And me and Lindsay had a bit of a sort of a hill to get over where I became the... hypnotized by my female child, my princess, you can't, fucking she's... And we had I suppose I've got to be careful, Minna's still little, she won't see this, but I didn't even know Electra was a thing. We hear about Oedipus where the boy's sort of too fixated on the mum, fuck off daddy, and it causes issues. So we had a bit of that going on. My daughter, I want to sleep in. Why mummy sleeps in the spare room? I sleep in the bed. Why does mummy get to do this with you? That's not fucking healthy, man. My daughter was looking to replace my wife and kick her out, and we become a couple. It's the same. And she had to be educated. No, me and mummy are partners. You're our baby. We love you, but we're the leaders. We're adults type thing.
Yeah.
So
like
we're not,
that communication about those roles.
I didn't get everything. We had an issue, and it took us a little while to work it out. But we're back on track now. So I haven't got everything right, but we solved it through communication.
And I think that's such a realistic expectation, because parenthood is never going to be linear, and it's never all going to be smooth sailing. And there's always going to be things, whether it is conflict, whether it is bumps, whether it is redefining your roles and responsibilities, and actually being able to communicate and be like, actually, this isn't working for me, and having those conversations. Sometimes actually really hard to do, but the best thing to do, because like you say, otherwise it does manifest and it kind of eats at you almost over time, and then creates a bigger problem that actually could have been addressed early doors.
Absolutely, yeah. That's been our journey. Communication. I don't know why my views are considered controversial. All I'm asking people to do is talk. But every time I do something like this, everyone thinks I'm being I'm not being unreasonable. What is unreasonable about communicating? It's like, you say, the divorce rate, maternal mental health has got issues. Male mental health is fucked, and divorce rate is rocketing. Talking to each other is not going to make that worse.
And I like what you say though, Russell, and actually this isn't about you saying you should do it this way, you should do it that way. Actually, it's about look at what works for you as a family, not what society is feeding into as the thing you have to do. Because ultimately, we talk about this on the podcast all the time, there is no right or wrong way to do any of pregnancy, birth, parenting, feeding your baby, how you sleep with your baby. It's so individual, but we've got all these crazy judgments, pressures, societal expectations that make us feel like if we don't do it this way, or if we don't play this role, that somehow we're doing it wrong. But that's just not the reality.
And all these the academic studies are so spurious. So if they're always trying to have a go at women that are unable to breastfeed. I really went through this with Lindsay, right? She was really... I don't think it's what people realize what it's like when a woman is shamed for not being able to breastfeed, which is basically what my wife felt. Not from any specific people, but just from the general culture. Yeah. And I'm sort of there cradling her with these exploding fucking tits. We just about got the colostrum in, and she just couldn't. It just wasn't working for her. Failure. But it's this breast is best type thing. I get it, right? But there's some women really struggling, and I had to sort of clean up the mess from that, where you're sort of bullied into doing things a certain way. The other thing she was bullied about was, are you going to have painkillers? Interesting. like you've got to be some sort of Vietnam fucking hero and have an episiotomy and be ripped open like John Hurt in Alien, otherwise you haven't given birth properly. It's like, fuck off. Everyone's birth plan ends up in the car park burnt anyway. So our birth plan is hilarious compared to what happened. We did all the what's it called, the breath breathing thing?
Yeah. Hypnobirthing.
So we went all to the workshops together. I did it with her. Why am I learning the breathing? But I went to all the classes. We had the pool ready to be hired. We're going to water birth, hypnobirth at home. We had a little private midwife. It cost me a fucking fortune. 7 months. Going to turn around now, Minna. 8 months. Baby's not. 9 months. Fucking thing is upright like that. Feet first, cord around the neck. So even attention seeking in the womb. Only my child. So we, that was our birth plan, burnt in a bin. They wouldn't even let Lindsay attempt to give birth. It was too dangerous. So we had to have a scheduled C-section. Again, this is the comments she got. Oh, you're so lucky you don't have to give birth for real. I mean, how do you think that's going to make a woman feel when she's about to be sliced open at the fucking abdomen, some organs moved to the side, a baby ripped out, and all of the hormonal consequences and emotional difficulties of being a new mother? And you're like trying to make her feel like she's less of a woman because she had a C-section. Again, fuck off, right?
Yeah.
It's so like lift each other up, don't judge each other, and support each other. We all have birth plans, but I'm sure you will know, Pip, how many birth plans come true? You probably know the stats on that.
I've been there for a few births in my time, Russell, and there is, and also everyone's birth plan looks the same, and the reality is no one's birth is ever the same, and that's where we need to have these like open, honest conversations and realize that no woman is better or lesser than another because she has an epidural or she has an induction or she has a cesarean or she has a home birth. Like, that isn't what's important around birth. But yeah, society hasn't helped us in that aspect either, is it?
The one good thing about what happened with us is Lindsay had the C-section. She's just lying there like something out of a Vietnam movie, and I'm in my green gown. I didn't realise it's quite a lot more gory than you think, because there's shit to move to the side before you get to the womb, isn't there? There's all like there's quite a lot going on down there.
Where were you stood, Russell? Usually dads are behind a lovely little screen. What are you doing? Assisting the surgeon.
I like to see what's going on. I'm not squeamish.
That's why it was gory.
Yeah, but I was ignorant, basically. I didn't realise. I think people think a C-section is out it comes. I don't think they realise you're cutting through the abdominal muscles like it's
major surgery,
full on. They brought this beautiful baby out, and I hope Lindsay doesn't mind me saying it. Would you like to hold your baby, Mrs. Kane? She went, no. Could you mind sewing me up? Like, no, fuck off, sew me up, right? So I was one of the lucky men that got the first skinned. I was topless ready. I've been warned it might happen. You're going to need the baby's going to be looking for a heartbeat and milk, but the next best thing is heartbeat. So there I was, topless. I think I've been living in the gym, typical Essex, I was all fake tanned up, ready for the shot. And they handed me this baby, and it must have been half an hour, just me and Minna waiting for Lindsay to come out. But what happened was, I feel awful. I got faked, like all the fake tan went on because the babies are quite like fluidy, aren't they? They're quite messy, and there was some alcohol shit, or they cleaned it up with something. So when it looked like she had jaundice.
That's dad's fake tan.
She'd got orange tan off my chest where I was doing vein skin to skin contact.
Love that.
So we had both nanas there, my mum there, Lindsay's mum there. It was just really magical. And then Lindsay came down, and we did the first breastfeeding thing, and she didn't. I don't think she was able to do a nappy for 7 days. So I was solo for 7 days, and as you can, I just loved it.
As you can tell, you're really resentful for that 7 days.
I loved it. It was really, really good bonding, and I felt it was a privilege and an honour to fill in. It was interesting. Our actual obstetrician was fantastic, and she sort of really empowered and backed us up. But I don't know if it was a midwife or a head nurse that was on the ward. I was waiting for the baby to be brought out to me, and Lindsay was being stitched up. I was sat there with my gown on ready to read, and I was reading some book. I don't know what I was reading, something about baby psychology or fucking a breast pump review in which magazine. I mean, I'm really upset. And she went, this, I don't know if she was a midwife. She went, put that down. And I went, what do you mean? She went, do not read a thing. baby will lead you. And I thought, everything that I'm proud of or achieved in my life, I've prepared for with maximum respect for the size of the project. The only thing I've ever done where there's a school of people that judged me for preparing is become a father. It blows my mind that people can have an issue with that.
Interesting.
Because it should be so purely baby led, we should know nothing and just follow baby's noises. Now that might work for some people, but I don't think the NHS should have been pushing that on me.
This episode is sponsored by BioGaia, designed to support tiny digestive systems and bring comfort when it's needed the most. Just a few drops a day can help maintain balance in your baby's gut, supporting everything from uncomfortable symptoms to overall well-being. Trusted by parents worldwide, BioGaia probiotics are gentle, safe, and backed by science, giving you peace of mind and hopefully a little more rest too. You can find BioGaia baby probiotics at biogaia.co.uk, because when your baby feels better, the whole family does too. Oh, totally agree. Like, this isn't, and there's an enormous thing. And then dads can end up feeling, and this obviously isn't you, Russell, because you were very much like, throw it all at me and I want to get involved. But then dads can feel on the sidelines almost, because they feel like, well, what's the point in preparing? There's nothing to prepare for. Exactly. And actually they've got an enormous role if they actually know what to do and have that confidence and support to do it.
Yeah. And in fact, this is a good tip for any ladies listening. If you're like, well, me and my husband are like that, we do want to be a bit more traditional. I do want the baby in the bed. I do want to be baby led. So how do I deal with a man being resentful? Let me give you some tips. Most men used to collect rubbers and matchboxes and football stickers when they were little. So we're all slightly on the spectrum. We're men. Give him research breast pumps. I want to know which one has got the best pumping rate. I want to know what the reviews of types of nappy. Can you have a look at the technology? And I'm telling you, we love shit like that. We'll be on the internet. My breast pump research was off the hook. Like 10 candidates. I ordered 2. We had sampled them, sent them back. Then when Lindsay couldn't breastfeed, we had, like it's like an espresso machine that can make a bottle in the middle of the night. So unleash your men or your more technological minded partner, if you're an all-female partnership or an all-male partnership, and give them nerdy research-based jobs to do. You still get to be the primary carer in a circle, and he'll be happy because he feels like he's contributing. There we are. That's a hack.
I love that. And like you said, it depends. That's where that communication and actually what personalities work best is so important. My husband was very much with our first, we never co-slept. With our second, he was quite poorly when he was little and we didn't want to let him out of sight. So we co-slept with him and I was breastfeeding. So I'm the like doer. He's very happy to sit there and just chill and cuddle. And I like that for a little bit, but then I'm a bit like, I get twitchy feet and I need to be busy. Yeah. So I would feed our second and then he would be the one that co-slept with him. And that just worked so well. Yeah. And it is just finding out what works for your family, isn't it?
Partnership. And also everyone's like, well, what can a man do? A man can't breastfeed. Because we did breastfeed for maybe like 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and they are the most intense 3 weeks anyway. Those first 3 weeks, like, no one does any system, no one does fuck all till the baby regains its birth weight. So that's 8 days of, like in Interstellar when Matthew McConaughey is falling into the black hole. That's what those 8 days are like. If you can do it, express milk, because I can't do the night feed, I'm a man. There you go, dickhead. It's in the fridge. So you're at 2 a.m, baby will be waiting. So you can get your man involved in some of the like shittier aspects by expressing milk. And then I hit that 2 a.m feed every night, no problem, even when Lindsay was breastfeeding. Obviously with formula it was a lot easier. And I really was involved, and she needed her bloody rest because her body took months to recover, months and months.
Yeah, it's so true. It's not a case of if you breastfeed, then that's it. We breastfed both ours for quite a while, and there was still plenty that my husband did. He would not have got off the hook of not being able to. It's just that line of communication, knowing that you don't have to do it like Aunt Jude down the road, but actually figure out what works for you guys as a family and get rid of the judgment. There's so much judgment.
And this is one of my wife's favourite hacks, is from tomorrow, if you're watching this, you're a couple, from tomorrow, no longer slag off your other half with your friends. Ever. You should never, ever be doing that. That's, I find it really, obviously, we're not talking about jokey stuff like when I do on stage, or like a jokey bit of banter about your partner. We're talking properly getting it. He's useless, he's not done this. I mean, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is the mother of your child, the father of your child. That is a sign that there's communication missing from your relationship. And when a baby comes along and all the hormones are changing, as I've demonstrated in men and women, that is something that will really cause an issue for your little family of 3. So don't be slagging off each other. Communicate with each other about any issues you have.
Let's just be kind. Why can't we just be nice people in the world? We'll just be nice people.
We just get tired, and it's easier, isn't it, to moan than solve.
True. Moan about it rather than do something about it.
But as I said, I've loved every minute. I became pre-trained, like doing it. I could nappy, all that stuff. None of it was intimidating to me because I did so much of it when I was little because of what my mum did for a living. Me and Lindsay, we didn't just start communicating when she was pregnant. We started communicating when she was still on the pill. I said to her, I'll never forget, we were in our pool on holiday. She's kissing me like she was try for a baby and all that. I went, yeah, once we've both agreed about sleep. I don't care what we agree.
Yeah.
As long as we agree about sleep. What's your view? You speak first. You're the woman. You're the mum. You tell me what you would desire, and then I'll give my desires, and we'll try and match them in the middle.
Yeah. Because you're right, we are all the worst version of ourselves when we are sleep deprived, and part of that comes with having a baby. But actually, navigating being on the same page can solve a lot of 3 a.m. arguments and resentment.
If we were going into a battle, which, let's face it, it's only a month where it's like full hell. I think if you know what you're doing, it doesn't need to go past 6 weeks of hell. But those first 6 weeks are pretty bad. You wouldn't go into a battle without a battle strategy. If you wouldn't go into a meeting without knowing how you're going to tackle a difficult client, right? So as a couple, what is your strategy for that? We're just going to see how we feel. Oh, good luck. Good luck. I wish you the best, but good luck.
Oh, Russell, you've covered loads of, I think, actually really serious topics, but in a really fun way. So thank you, because we need to get those voices out there. And you've given us loads of top tips. But one thing that I think dads do need some help with, and you have to be the person to fill this void, is 3 dad jokes. Because I am yet to hear a good one. And I feel like you could be the person that changes the tide on this.
Well, dad jokes are shit on purpose, aren't they?
Yeah. Awful.
So maybe I should put all of my dad jokes into a spreadsheet. That way I can totally excel myself.
Oh. I was going to try not to laugh. However, well done. Well, there's a reason why you're a comedian, and that was it.
I don't have many original jokes, but that's one of them.
I love it. Good job.
But it might even be my only one, as I can't think of any off the top. I mean, I did when Lindsay. I do have a lot of humour around babies and things like that. And I mean, I can just remember trying for a baby was an unbelievable period of my. Because me and Lindsay both have high sex drive, so we're quite well matched. Our intimate life is really good, but there's something about having to do it on schedule quite a lot it's really unromantic, and I can get horny in almost any. You just had like a big curry. I'm ovulating. I've just fucking had like 2 naan breads. Are you joking? It's like midnight. I've had 5 pints and 2 naan breads. Now is
the moment.
So you become a sort of like farm. You know when you see those Frisian cows that are being milked against their will. That's what I was like. Sort of, and it became like a creepy game of hide and seek, where I'd be upstairs and I like sort of pretending not to be in, and I could hear Russell, the eggs need doing, and I'd be like behind a curtain. By the end of the process, we got it first time, but it's still a month of like punishment fucking. I was blowing out dust like talc by the 3rd mating, because you do it once, and then she's like, right, we better wait and do it again, which is fine. I can do that, but there's no sperm in it. Like, we know that. It's like, you got to wait 3 days for the supplies to top up. And it was also, you can't, I don't know if the guys are aware of this, but you can't really masturbate when you're trying for a baby, because once a man ejaculates, even though you would still be able to ejaculate the next day, there'd be no sperm in it.
You've got to save the swimmers.
The swimmers take about 3 days to build up. Well, ladies, I don't know if you know much about men, but we wank just all the time. Like, it's like brushing our teeth. Even your husband, who you think doesn't, does it all the time. Like, if you pop to Asda, he's wanking. Within a minute of you leaving the house, his trousers around his ankles. So it was a combination of no masturbation mixed with punishment shagging from a demented milker. It was a really strange 6 weeks of my life.
Thank God it was a short period of time.
I know, we got really lucky. That was the other thing I used. Oh shit, yeah, this is really interesting because I don't know. Do you have many listeners from people that are trying for babies?
Yeah.
So
I'm worried about what on earth you're going to say, but yeah.
I'd be interested in what you think of this science. Okay, so that no one knows why, but when under a microscope, right, when you look at male and female sperm, they all look the same and swim relatively the same. But there is one massive difference between male sperm and female sperm: how long they live. Did you know that?
No.
So a male sperm dies within 24 hours inside the vagina, right? But a sperm carrying the female chromosomes lives up to 3 to 5 days. So this is how people get pregnant from missing a pill 2 days later.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we didn't have sex. And those children, guess what, are disproportionately female.
Interesting.
So what I'm saying is there's no way of intentionally creating a son. Sorry, misogynists. But if you
I've managed that twice.
Yes.
I need to do the other thing.
So what happens is you ovulate, right? And you run upstairs to shag. So you've got a 50-50 chance then, male, female.
Yeah.
50-50, right? Well, actually, it's slightly more in favour of male because more boys are born than girls. We think it's because male babies are weaker, so nature delivers more males. Anyway, so you're probably like 52-48 male every time you go. But if you have the courage to have sex 2 days before ovulation and then do not have sex during ovulation, there is a slightly higher chance. You're going to have to check the science on this, midwife Pip. You've gamed it slightly so that you can have a daughter. Slightly. Now, I have a routine about it on stage of all the male sperm going, come on, lads, in we go. Oh, I'm dead. And all the girls going, give it time. The egg will be here shortly, ladies. Wait for them all to die. So I used to act it all out. And I had lots of messages 9 months later from parents of daughters. Now, is it bullshit? I don't know. But the science that is true is that male sperm dies within 24 hours and the female sperm lives. So
there's theory that makes it feel like it makes sense, right?
So if you're trying to have
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, so you want to shag one day, but it's quite hard to time it. But that's what we did.
No pressure.
We were in India on having like a baby making holiday in Kerala. In fact, that was nearly our daughter's name. And we knew from as you can imagine, I led the science. I was testing wee and charts, and Lindsay's like a man watching the football. So I'm measuring wee. I've got all my charts on the wall. I knew, and I was like, right, you're going to ovulate in 24 hours. So we fucking had like a porn show for 24 hours. She's then did nothing. She started ovulating, but then your willpower gives out. You're like, let's just smash one safety one in while you're ovulating. Yeah. But I think the reason we got a daughter is the female sperm was waiting when the egg, the luteinized. I think they were waiting from 2 days before, and Minna was created. And Lindsay swears that she felt the implantation. That's what she said.
Yeah, no, I felt implantation twice. Right, I'm with her. She felt that implantation. We were in India. I was like, I'm pregnant.
and I was like, if that really is implantation today, Lindsay, there's no way it can be from the sex we just had. It has to be from implantation isn't instant, it's 48 hours later.
I totally back Lindsay up there. I remember feeling like, oh, that was really painful. And then it's like gone. And I was like, we just made a baby.
So I went, if that is the implantation, science suggests it has to be a girl, or more is very, very likely to be a girl, and lo and behold. So anyone trying for a girl, do your own research. I'm just a comedian with a degree in English. Listen to midwife Pip. She'll put some more science, I'm sure, in the
text. Was no science in Russell's recommendation. And boys are great too, FYI.
Boys are great, but you know when you've got like 5 sons and you're trying to have a girl, and
that's going to be me. Yeah.
So
once I've got my rugby team, I'll be.
Surely it makes sense. Surely, but you know.
I mean, I'll try it. I'm clearly genetically meant to have boys, so I will try that. I will do the experiment myself and let you know whether what happens.
I create a female child intentionally giving science to a midwife, that would be one of my greatest mansplaining unqualified achievements ever. So yeah,
I love that.
Weirdly, when I was 18, I just split up with a girl. and I wanted to train, and I actually got the forms to start training to be a midwife and filled them out.
way.
I swear I actually did that, and I just didn't pursue it. My life changed and it went in another direction. So I've always had a thing about babies from my mum, who still is like that.
Yeah,
so I nearly was one of those really rare. I nearly
male midwives.
I nearly did my RGN, and I was going to do all of that. Yeah, it's just, I
Love
don't know
that.
why I didn't do it. I think I just tracked off in another direction. I've always
Life has its. I was meant to be a vet. Life has its funny ways.
but I love biology. I find the human, as you can tell, the human body fascinating, and for the female body and the miracle of how a child is created. I mean, I don't know if you're like me, right? When I go on stage, I've been doing comedy 20 years. Every night, the magic and the miracle of humour making people laugh is as strong as when I did my first gig. Is it the same for you with babies
phenomenal.
growing and birth?
Phenomenal. I still even when I just see a pregnant woman, I'm talking to pregnant women, I'm like, it's still just in my mind. I've been a midwife like 14ish years. In my mind, I'm like, this is still just phenomenal. And like when I'm in birth, I'm like, I still just blows my mind that a baby has grown in there and it's going to come out of there. Like just phenomenal. Yeah.
Great.
Just
It's
incredible.
just something, it's to find something like that in your life. You never go to work, I don't think.
No, yeah.
I don't go to work, even though I work my tits off. I don't, because I love what I do. And so midwifery, shout out, because it's such an interesting and amazing thing. I nearly did it. How many straight male midwives do you meet?
Yeah.
How
you
many?
could have been the one, but you've done all right anyway. You've done all right for yourself.
Do you know any?
I worked with one years and years ago, but that's it.
I can understand, I suppose, more in your profession. I can understand it a bit more.
But there's loads of male gynecologists.
True.
Loads of male GPs.
True. Do you see what I'm saying? We're right back.
No.
Do you
I'm with
think
you.
that's an issue? It says something about the problem. You've got little boys, right? So this is an issue for you, man. That we live in a world where there are no male midwives. What does that mean?
I know. Yeah, I know. It's such a shame. And
it's a sign.
I don't know. My boys can decide to be midwives if they want. I can give them a really good, realistic understanding of what it's all about.
Would they be mid-husbands or mid-days or something?
No, still midwives, because midwife means with women.
Ah, right. So it's about the person who's doing it. Mind you, even that, I'll tell you. I was
going to say, I'm just
again in a decade. We'll be growing them in an Ocado bag in the basement. Trust me.
I know. Oh, Russell, it's been so brilliant to chat to you. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that we've lifted the lid on some really, really important topics. So thank you.
I hope so. Yeah. So thank you very much.